Hello students, I'm Princey. This video is for S4 Analog Integrated Circuit, Module 5, Analog Multipliers. Let's start with the basics of analog multiplier. An analog multiplier is a device having two input ports and an output port. The signal at the output is the product of the two input signals. This is the typical representation of analog multiplier. Analog multiplier is a circuit which produces the output proportional to or equal to the product of two analog input signals. So, we can write the output of the analog multiplier Vout equals Vx into Vy by K. Here, K is the scalar factor or proportionality factor which depends on the system. If both input and output signals are voltages, the transfer characteristic is the product of the two voltages divided by a scalar factor K, which has the dimension of voltage as shown in figure. Depending on the positive polarity of the input signals, analog multiplier is classified into single quadrant multiplier, where they only accept the single polarity or both input signals of unipolar, and therefore output is also unipolar. Two quadrant multipliers are those where one of the input signals has to be unipolar, that other one can be bipolar, and the output is therefore bipolar. And the four quadrant multipliers are those in which both input signals can be bipolar signals and output is also a bipolar signals. So, this will give the most flexible type of analog multiplier. Analog multipliers can be implemented both as discrete circuit or as a single integrated circuits. There are many methods available for implementing analog multipliers like log-antilog type multiplier, transconduction type of multiplier, that is Gilbert cell multiplier, pulse width and amplitude type of multiplier. In this transconduction type of multiplier, Gilbert cell, analog multiplier is most popular analog multiplier and which is the basis of the most of the multiplier system. Let's look at different methods for implementing analog multiplier. First, log-antilog multiplier. Here, this is the basic mathematical principle behind this method. First, taking the logarithm of both input, then add those values, then we will get log of Vx plus log of Vy. We know that log A plus log B, which is equals to log AB. Therefore, hence, we get the equation as log into Vx plus Vy. Taking antilog of this, the output which is equal to Vx into Vy. This is the implementation of log-antilog multiplier using operational amplifier. This method is limited to positive polarity signals, so it belongs to single quadrant analog multiplier. Analog method is transconductance based analog multiplier, which uses the transconductance property of the transistor. Let's look at one of the method that depends on the exponential transfer function of bipolar transistor. It is emitter couple pair as a symbol multiplier. First of all, let us discuss what is emitter coupled transistor pair. Here is a circuit in which transistors are coupled through emitter and connected to a constant current source. Input voltage VID is applying between the base of transistor. Positive of the input is connected to the base of Q1 and negative is connected to the base of Q2. And IC1 is the collector current of Q1 and IC2 is the collector current of Q2. The output is taken between the collectors of Q1 and Q2. So, the output voltage is proportional to the difference between the collector currents. For an emitter coupled pair, the current IEE and collector current are related as IC1, which is equals IEE by 1 plus e raised to minus VID by VT, and IC2 equals IEE by 1 plus e raised to VID by VT. Here we just note down the relation between the input and the collector current. While considering the collector current of Q1, that is IC1, the base is connected to the positive of input and it is negative VID by VT. And in the case Q2, negative of input is connected to the base of transistor and we have positive VID by VT. That is IC1, the base is connected to the positive of input and it is negative VID by VT. And in the case of Q2, the negative of input is connected to the base of the transistor and we have positive VID by VT. Now, let us calculate the change in collector current. The change in collector current, that is delta IC equals IC1 minus IC2. We have IC1 and IC2. Substitute, applying, we get delta IC equals IEE by 1 plus e raised to minus VID by VT minus IEE by 1 plus e raised to VID by VT. Here IEE is common, so which is equals IEE into 1 by 1 plus e raised to minus VID by VT minus 1 by 1 plus e raised to VID by VT. By cross multiplying, we get IEE into e raised to VID by 2VT into e raised to minus VID by 2VT plus e raised to VID by 2VT minus e raised to minus VID by 2VT into VID by e raised to 2VT plus e raised to minus VID by 2VT. The whole divided by e raised to minus VID by 2VT into VID by e raised to 2VT plus e raised to minus VID by 2VT into e raised to, hope you all know to cross multiply the equation, and finally we get delta IC equals IEE into e raised to VID by 2VT minus e raised to minus VID by 2VT by e raised to VID by 2VT plus e raised to minus VID by 2VT. This term is the expression for tan hyperbolic function, that is, we know tan h of x equals e raised to x minus e raised to minus x by e raised to x plus e raised to minus x. Therefore, the equation becomes, we can be written as delta IC, which is equals IEE tan h of VID by 2VT. That is, tan h of VID by 2VT is approximately equal to VID by 2VT if VID by VT less than, much less than 1. Then delta IC approximately equal to IEE into VID by 2VT. Look at the DC transfer characteristics of the emitter coupled pair. Here, the function is almost linear near to the origin. Then the delta IC is approximately equal to IEE into VID by 2VT. If we use current mirror instead of current source IEE and make it proportional to the input VI2. Here, IEE is similar to K0 into VI2 minus VBE on. Applying this current in changing current equal to, that is delta IC is approximately equal to VID into K0 into VI2 minus VBE on by 2VT. Here, the output voltage depends on the change in collector current and hence we can say that Vout is directly proportional to the VID into VI2 minus VBE on. VI2 should be greater than VBE on means that multiplier functions only in one current. So this type of multiplier is belong to two quadrant multiplier. That means the multiplier functions only in one chord. So this type of multiplier is belong to two quadrant multiplier. This circuit have several limitations. The first limitation is that the VI2 is offset by VBE on, and the second one is VI2 must always be positive, which results in only a two quadrant multiplier operation. The third limitation is that the first input voltage VID must be very much less than VT to make tan H VID by 2VT, that is equals to VID by 2VT. The first two limitations are overcome in Gilbert cell multiplier. Gilbert multiplier cell. The Gilbert multiplier cell is the basis for most integrated circuit balanced multiplier systems. The series connection of an emitter coupled pair with two cross coupled emitter coupled pairs produces a particularly useful transfer characteristic. Here is the circuit of Gilbert multiplier cell, and this circuit it consists of three different stages with each stage having a pair of transistors. All these stages are emitter coupled transistor pair with cross coupled stage 1 and stage 2 in series with stage 3. Let us move on to the analysis of the circuit. Here, we assume that all the transistors are identical. The modification of the emitter coupled cell which allows four quadrant multiplication. Okay, each stage having emitter coupled transistor pair. Okay, the assumptions are, we assume that all the transistors are identical and the output resistance of the transistor and the biasing current source can be neglected, and the base current are also can be neglected. As we have seen earlier, the collector current for an emitter coupled pair are IC1, which is equals to IEE by 1 plus e raised to minus VID by VT, and IC2 equals IEE by 1 plus e raised to VID by VT. When the positive of the input is connected to the base of a particular transistor, here it is Q1, then the collector current term will have the term e raised to minus VID by VT, and when the negative of the input is connected to the base of the transistor, then the collector current of transistor will have the term e raised to plus VID by VT. When the positive of the input is connected to the base of a particular transistor Q1, then the collector current term will have the term e raised to minus VID by VT. When the negative of the input is connected to the base of the transistor, then the collector current of transistor will have the term e raised to positive VID by VT. Let's consider the emitter coupled pair in stage 1. Here the current at emitter coupled junction is the collector current of the transistor Q1, and positive of the input V1 is connected to the base of Q3, and negative of V1 is connected to the base of Q4. Hence the collector current are IC3 equals IC1 by 1 plus e raised to minus V1 by VT. IC4 equals IC1 by 1 plus e raised to V1 by VT. Similarly, for the emitter coupled pair in stage 2, the current at the emitter coupled junction is the collector current of the Q2, and the positive of the input V1 is connected to the base of the transistor Q6 and the negative is connected to the base of Q4. Hence, the collector currents of this emitter coupled pair are IC5 equals IC2 by 1 plus e raised to V1 by VT, and IC6 equals IC2 by 1 plus e raised to minus V1 by VT. And the collector currents of the stage 3 are IC1 and IC2. That is, IC1 equals IEE by 1 plus e raised to minus V2 by VT, and IC2 equals IEE by 1 plus e raised to positive V2 by Vt. Applying this, we get IC3 equals IEE by 1 plus e raised to minus V1 by Vt into 1 plus e raised to minus V2 by Vt. And IC4 equals IEE by 1 plus e raised to V1 by Vt into 1 plus e raised to minus V2 by Vt. And IC5 equals IEE by 1 plus e raised to V1 by Vt into 1 plus e raised to V2 by Vt. And IC6 equals IEE by 1 plus e raised to minus V1 by Vt into 1 plus e raised to V2 by Vt. And here IL1 equals IC3 plus IC5 and IL2 equals IC4 plus IC6. Therefore, delta IL equals IL1 minus IL2. Substituting these values, finally we get delta IL equals IEE into 1 by 1 plus e raised to minus V2 by Vt minus 1 by 1 plus e raised to V2 by Vt into 1 by 1 plus e raised to minus V1 by Vt minus 1 by 1 plus e raised to V1 by Vt, which is equals IEE tan h of V1 by 2 Vt into tan h of V2 by 2 Vt. That is approximately equal to IEE by 4 Vt square into V1 V2 if V1 and V2 much less than Vt. Now let's see an analog multiplier IC AD633. The AD633 multiplier is a 4-quadrant analog multiplier. It possesses high input impedance. It can operate with supply voltages ranging from plus or minus 18 volt. IC does not require external components. The typical range of the two input signals is plus or minus 10 volt. This is the pin description of analog multiplier IC AD633. It shows the basic connection. The circuit shows the basic connections for multiplication. The X and Y inputs normally have their negative nodes grounded, but they are fully differential, and in many applications the grounded inputs may be reversed. The output V0 is the product of the two inputs Vx and Vy is divided by a reference voltage V reference. Normally, the reference voltage V reference is internally set to 10 volt. Therefore, the Vout, the output voltage Vout, which is equals Vx into Vy by 10. In other words, the basic input-output relationship can be defined by K into Vx into Vy when K equals 1 by 10, a constant. The AD633 is well suited for such applications as modulation and demodulation, automatic gain control, power measurement, voltage controlled amplifiers, and frequency doublers. The transfer characteristics of a typical 4-quadrant multiplier are shown in figure. Both the inputs can be positive or negative to obtain the corresponding output as shown in the transfer characteristics. Here the both inputs can be positive or negative to obtain the corresponding output. These are the applications for analog multiplier IC. They are voltage squarer, frequency doublers, voltage divider, square rooter, phase angle detector, rectifier. Thank you.